This is a story I'd like to share with you. I remember it so well, it seemed like it happened yesterday. But really it happened many years ago when I was a young student at Gallaudet University. It all started when I went home to New York for the summer after my first year at Gallaudet. For the whole month of June, I was looking for a job. It was tough getting a job because there were so many students, such as myself, looking for a job. It was a really frustrating experience for me because every time I would go into an office and apply for a job, someone was telling me, no, sorry, there's no more openings. One morning, I was reading the newspaper and I noticed an advertisement for a dishwasher company for a summer camp. Fine, I can wash dishes. So I went to the office on 4th Street near 5th Avenue. I was excited to be the first applicant to arrive. I filled out the application, then I stood and waited. Finally, the receptionist lets me into a room. A man standing there wearing glasses. Obviously, he's the boss. I handed him my application. He glanced over my application. I started talking to him, and I realized I needed to explain to him that I am deaf. I can't hear you. I said, I'm deaf. The boss said, oh, and pointed to the door. I followed his instructions. As I stepped outside the door, he closed it behind me. That's when I found myself in a long hallway next to the elevator that I recently came off of. He kicked me out just like that without any explanation. I got in the elevator. As the elevator goes down, I felt depressed. Why can't he give me a chance to explain that I can do the job well? It's not required to hear. I stepped out of the building onto the street. There was traffic and many people bumping into me. I stood outside on the hot day. I stopped and thought to myself, will I give up easy like that? I won't go far in life. I thought to myself, I should go back up and discuss. I turn back around, goes back into the building, gets on the elevator, and as I go up the elevator, I wrote a note for the boss. I went back inside as the receptionist tries to stop me, and I passed by her and I gave her the note, gave the note to the boss. He told me to get out, and I said I was not leaving until you read my note. As he read my note, I explained that I was a student in college and I needed a job. It's not a requirement for a dishwasher to hear. I have both of my arms and I'm strong. Then he read my note and he was surprised that I could write. I sat down and he asked, can I read lips? Well, a little bit, so we talked. And then I got the job. I would never forget the first day I arrived in summer camp. That's in Massachusetts. There were beautiful trees. The camp itself was beautiful. I was excited to get in and start working as a dishwasher. They brought dirty dishes to wash. Really? I hate washing dishes, but I had to. That's life. For the next month, I worked like a workhorse. The last day of camp, the director was looking for a volunteer to help a farmer to collect hay. So I volunteered because I didn't want to work in the kitchen with the Mexicans. Early that morning, I joined the farmers in a group, gathering up hay and putting it on the wagon. Then we brought the hay to the barn. Working all morning gathering the hay, my hand had blisters and they were yellow. However, we continued to work. At noon, we sat and ate lunch. After lunch, we all were tired, so we all decided to lay down and rest under a tree for a while. Then I woke up and I found I was the only one there. Everyone had gone back to work. Oh my God, I'm late, I thought. I ran and I grabbed my pitchfork. When I arrived, I saw the farm manager standing on top of a hill, and he began taunting me. Then my first passion was to leave. But then I thought, patiently it would be best for me to continue to work. So I turned around and I kept gathering and piling the hay onto the wagon. There were black clouds in the sky. It looked like it would rain at any time. I must hurry to move the hay onto the wagon and move it into the barn before the rain comes. We were all working. It was crazy. When I arrived at the barn, the farm manager excused everyone except me and this other farmer. He told me to go to the loft and stay there. As for the other two boys, they would stand on top of the hill, still gathering, pushing the hay in. Now my responsibility was separating the hay into piles. While the hay flew in my face, what happened? The two boys was working fast and faster. I had a hard time keeping the hay separated. There were dust blowing in my face and I couldn't believe, choking, still things flying in my face. As I saw the farm manager enjoying my misery, I don't know how, for a minute, I thought I could continue. I almost really gave up. What happened? He told me, all right, to change positions with him. Okay, I jumped out. If the wind felt pleasant, and I grabbed the pitchfork, it was my turn to toss the hay fast and faster. Then he can keep the hay in a pile while stumbling and dust flying in his face. Finally finished out of hay. Then lightning struck and rain pouring, and I fell out on the floor as the rain poured on me constantly. Afterward, I woke up. I got up wiping my face. First, I started to leave, and I saw the farm manager standing, smoking a cigarette. He puts his hands on my shoulders. I felt like a real knight, placing a sword on my shoulder. I salute, and I walked away.